I'll make a cut in YouTube. Now that's actually been spoken onto 2 different videos. And so we are at the first council session. Anticipation fills the air as the council opens. The captain ruled with a firm hand for years, but those times died with him. Now, the communities of the city want their say. The stalwarts maintained order on behalf of the captain and adhere to what they claim was his vision for New London. Progress, merit, and reason. The New Londoners and Frostlanders clash over our survival strategy, though neither has a firm stance on economic or social issues. Then there are those who view the stalwarts with contempt for their role in New London's history, but they keep to the shadows for now. Based on your handling of the coal crisis, the first decision is whether you should maintain your role as steward. Let's open the session. Now, 80 people did die. That's not going to go in my favor, but I think we're doing okay. And here we have our glorious council hall. I like it. They actually do look different. People here look different to people here. Now, there might be a small group of stalwarts. When you return to the council in the future, you will be able to propose new laws to vote upon. But for now, a special vote needs to happen. The communities of New London have to accept you as their leader. Be careful. If you fail, this will be the end of your rule. Well, this could be a short playthrough. I see. So, as you can see, we do have Twitch voting turned on. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anyone quite yet joining us on Twitch to do the voting. However, if any of you are also on YouTube, and I know a few of you don't have Twitch, and that's perfectly fine. We will always keep streaming on YouTube. But if you would like to jump over to Twitch and join in the voting, because that is what it's designed for. Unfortunately, it's not been designed with YouTube in mind. We will see how it goes. Recruit Viewers Council. I don't think that's actually going to happen because, unfortunately, like I said, I don't think there's one there. Voting in 10 weeks, 0 days. Delegate session. Should the steward remain in power? If this vote fails, the delegates will immediately remove you from office. There's 22 for. There's 13 against. I am tolerated. Negotiate with the delegates. Vote distribution. People are divided. Negotiate with. Mostly hesitant. These guys are for. Okay, so I'm going to say New London. They rule 45% of the city, slightly above the Frostlanders. Should the steward remain in power if this vote fails? Vote for. They will vote for passing the law during the next vote. Their terms. Pressure on workers. Workplaces must keep machines powered around the clock and adjust working hours accordingly. Quality is marginally increased. Building. Automated logistics bay. Logistics bay where machines manufacture expedition equipment on demand to minimize personal and storage needs. Okay. Quality is slightly increased. What's worse? Slightly or marginally? 10 plus 10 prefab, plus 40 goods, 60 materials requirement, 300 workforce, 40 heat demand. Mechanical factory. Large facility using semi-automated machinery to produce construction, prefabs, and domestic goods with a streamlined workforce. I'm going to go for this. I will have to build an automated logistics bay. Accept. The law is supported. Okay, I'm going to vote. Oh, nice.
The eyes have it.
Passed with a vote of 75. I see. A steward you shall remain. Good. There are challenges ahead. Expanding coal extraction is a great success, but the vein will only last so long. We need to explore the Frostland for a permanent source of fuel. Otherwise, the city will have no future. Welcome back, Dashant. You just missed the first vote. We must find more fuel. So hang on, right. So we need to research automated logistics bay. Then we need to build a logistics district on an old way station and find a permanent source of fuel. That is my promise to the New Londoners. Advanced coal mine, housing district, pump jacks, fuel. Oh wait, Frostland, let's come over here. Cool, so they want a logistics bay. Promised. It was promised. Vanguard logistics, automated logistics bay. I cannot afford the research because I need 50 tokens. We only have 28, so let's keep things moving. And then something else I have to think of is I do have a rapidly depleting material supply and a slowly depleting will last for 69 weeks, will only last for 32 weeks. So I do need to get... What's going on here? Resource deposit is nearly depleted. What am I extracting? Prefabs. I've still got 1,400 of those, so that's okay. Now here we are extracting material. That's okay as well. In terms of buildings, a blasting coal mine, or we can get more research institutes. So what we will need to do, let's go and get, yep, the research up and running. Frostland team's output. Automated logistics bay. Doesn't really matter which one I choose. I'm going to hit for the one that says New Londoners and agree with this idea. Let's research. Now, of course, we do need more people. We can't afford to do that anyway. I was just kind of trying to see where our resources were. No, there's a handy button. All good, Deshant. All good. So we are still making a nice bit of coal. That's slowly increasing. Like I said, we do need to sort out our material spend. The blasting coal mine, the extraction districts, and then the food districts. Now, of course, it is about to drop off by 50. So that'll help. However, we won't be getting any prefabs. So that won't help. Unmet demand for goods. Individual contribution. Oh, interesting. Central District 8. We are making 13. Of course, if I can meet the demand for goods, there are, of course, none available. Nice. Nice. It's, yeah, it's living up to its reputation so far. It's definitely a Frostland. Frostpunk, sorry. How are we doing? 43. Now, of course, I need to actually get to one of these as well. So let's start frost breaking. And I can only assume with constructing a district that it will take the certain amount of output. And yes, we are about to lose our prefab income. I mean, how much does an extraction district cost? 150. Okay, so I do have a bit to play with, to be fair, because that would be the next thing I'd have to build. Frost breaking doesn't cost anything. In terms of prefabs, just costs me heat stamps. That's not a problem. Hello, welcome back. And so have we broken our way there, I do believe. So, yep, it does cost a base of 6. So let's... Now, it's a shame I should have gone down one side because I kind of want to do both sides of this. But that's okay. Let's come in this direction. Break that part out. So we do now have access to the old way station, which is what I need to build the logistics district. Now, of course, we do need lots and lots of people. Population growth progress, 68%. Our population is rising steadily.
The stalwarts will announce the name of this month's top worker at tonight's muster.
Brilliant. So I assume when that happens, when that reaches 100%, I assume I will actually get a full population boost. Yes. 60% of the population. 600 people cannot work. You can modify the percentage of population that can be part of the workforce by passing appropriate laws. You can improve living conditions to speed up population growth, find and lead more people from your Frostland to your city. Yes, 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 etc. Council. Propose a law. Survival, city, society, rule. Funeral, no common rules. Childhood, no common rules. Find who is responsible for the care and education of children. Some are well cared for and others are neglected. Alternative laws. And crime. Okay, rule. Guard enforcers unassigned. Unlocks the quell process district ability, which ends protests using guard squads. Guided voting. Unlocks the guided voting procedure, which greatly increases the odds of passing a law in the council. Basic necessities. Contagion prevention. Common voluntary and unfocused communal efforts does not yield any significant gain. Labor organization. I think that's what I want. Survival. Food additives. Goods. If I click on this, yes, I assume I can then affect a law. So if we come to society, all children must work alongside one of their relatives so that they learn their trade and continue the family tradition. The percentage of active workers is increased. Guarantee that all children have the skills and knowledge needed in the city. We will establish a mandatory school program supported by the city. Okay, people are divided on that, but I quite like it. We will see. We'll leave things for now. We'll focus on what I'm actually doing. Thank you for reminding me to drink. That'll happen. As I do often forget. And so we can actually... I think that frost breaking is finished. Because I assume... This is base, storing and handling only essential survival gear and providing... Yes, this gets me a logistics bay. Which I assume will pop up. Materials, goods, food, fuel, heating. Yes. Demand 25 materials. Proximity heat demand in neighboring districts is decreased. Of course, we do have to remember these things because they can also... They can decrease workforce, but... the fact that... So they'll drop it by... For instance, my food stockpile will drop it by, I think, 10%. But it costs me 100 workforce. So it is also useful to build in the middle. But you still end up spending workers. It is always important to remember. I got caught out by that in the first one. However, if I was to instance... So it has to be in range of 3 districts. So I could actually, if I get my food district properly built here, we will be okay with that. However, relations with New London's improved. Trust rises. We are still neutral? Oh. We are favorable with the stalwarts. So now, of course, do we have more material? We do. This costs, remind me, 30 heat stamps. We should be fine for that. what I want to test as well. Why can't we do this? We need 600 workforce. I just kind of want to test the size part of it. So we're into there. So I could easily build something there and put a material hub there to save myself workforce overall. I think I will do that. That'll be a later thing. So let's just pause a second. What I'll put the hub in there, and I can get these 3 in there, and you have things for 208 weeks, which is fine. Infectious agents, the first crack. During the routine medical examination performed by stalwarts, a small group of Frostlanders refused to be assessed. These checkups are relics of past years when a cough could endanger the city. That's gone now. We've adapted, one said. No point continuing this invasion of privacy. The stalwarts maintain that regular physicals help ensure the safety of our workers. It's vital we monitor our citizens' health, one foreman pushed back. We've had epidemics in the past. We mustn't allow another one. This group of Frostlanders will oppose this decision. Relations improve with New Londoners and Stalwarts. Relations worsen with New Londoners and Stalwarts. Do not interfere. Changes your relationships with the factions and communities in the city. Your relationship worsens with all communities. I'm going to allow mandatory checkups, because I think it's in the best interest of the city. So now, we do have a logistics building. However, it requires a lot more workforce. Expedition equipment on demand to minimize personnel and storage. It requires 500 workforce to work. Compared to this, I can only assume. Now we do. Let's keep things moving. Let's keep things moving a bit faster. We are about to run out of materials. It'll last for 16 weeks. Our population is steadily increasing. I don't think I'm going to get the extra population. What I'm going to do, go back to normal speed. I need to technically get 500. Whoa, I'm moving around. I'm supposed to be clicking on this. I'm going to drop this down. I'm just going to say 6 a week, because we've got 1,655. So let's just slowly keep that going. And then let's check automatic logistics bay. Yep, that is a building. So I do love this, where machines manufacture expedition equipment on demand to minimize personnel and storage. It cost me 500 workforce. By minimizing my personnel, I am spending 500 workforce. Crazy. Let's... Obviously, I want that to be there. Let's kind of come back to the city a little bit. There you go. Let's get the logistics district built. Coal left around New London, 130 weeks at current rate. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. 130 weeks. We have a big deposit here. How is this one doing?
Down and is blocking traffic. Technicians are on their way.
56 weeks, and I still have 336 workers, which I think allows me to do frost breaking. Yes, it does. But of course, this is a beautiful little materials area as well. Don't think we have any coal. We do have some prefab over here, and we have our permanent source of prefab over... Oh no, materials. I don't think I have a permanent source of prefab, actually. I think I would have to manufacture it from materials, but I'm going to keep things as they are. I need my population to grow. It's on 94%. With that, of course, we will need more housing. As you do. Which then, of course, takes more heat, takes more food. I will need more materials. No, I do need more materials probably next. So what I might do... I mean, we're getting 113 coal. Do you get the largest of my output? Let's... Still gets me 33 coal to spare. Let's keep that going up. That gives me a lot more workforce. And I am at least going to go and build for now. Okay, so we've got the plus 20 heat. Go ahead and stick that in there as well. Done. Now well, I might allow it to actually be worked once it's built, because I should get a population growth very shortly. And this should also help turn around my materials. Now, of course, turning down some of these has helped my materials problem. We will last for 19 more weeks. 1,187 people joined us. Population has gone up. Fantastic. So that gave me, oh, basically another 800 odd workers. Beautiful. The city grows. Steward, a new count has revealed significant growth in our population in recent weeks. Some attribute the rise to an influx of settlers from the Frostland, others to births outnumbering deaths. Whatever the cause, we have adjusted our calculations of the city's needs to reflect these new numbers. So I am 16 housing short, so I will need another housing district. So let's go ahead and do that first. The demand is 40 heat, so I will need to turn my coal slightly back on as well. Although I can, of course, drop this down by a wonderful amount of 20. And do I actually start coming out this way? I think that makes more sense, because I can start to get the sheltered from wind bonuses. And then, because if I have to build a next one now, I can get another sheltered from wind and the huddled together bonus, because these guys have total demand is 0. That's total demand is 50. We did not get the shelter. Wow, that's really high. Plus 40 from housing district, minus 20 from research district, minus 30 from base modifiers. You have minus 20 from base modifiers. You have minus 20 from base modifiers. Possibly because they're sheltered. And then minus 40 from the districts. That's fine. Of course, I wonder if I turn off this district, will it turn off the Research Institute? Interesting question. But no, let's go and put that in there. It will only need 20 heat because of it being sheltered. And like I said, I should be able to. Let's have a quick check. If yes, I would be able to. I don't know why it's not letting me select this one up here. It's also only giving me 2 sheltered from wind, which is odd, because I would have thought that sheltered from wind, that sheltered from wind, and that sheltered from wind. Oh, there you go. Yes, all 3 sheltered from wind, so that would be plus 20 heat. There you go. We would have all of those districts, and we would get plus 40 heat. Let's go back to having the game play. Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. We now survey the frozen lands around New London and find a source of fuel to ensure its future. I see. Ooh, what a lovely zoom out we just went and did. Hello, Atto Chillman. Welcome to the stream. It's a very fitting name for the stream you're watching. New London. Let's pause a second. Find a permanent source of fuel. We have areas that open up. The Highlands, the Gorge, the Foothills, Frozen Bay. Makeshift smelters. Overpopulation and dwindling full reserves forced many residents of New London to take refuge in these temporary shelters built around a small hot spring. Inhabitants wait for conditions to improve enough for them to return home. It will cost me 5 Frostland teams, but I will get 2,665 new Londoners. Threat level safe. Possible finding Frostland dwellers. Launch expedition. Over 30 years ago, the Imperial Exploratory Company landed here to build the region's generators. A few hastily dismantled piers still stick out of the ice, a fading reminder of their short-lived purpose. We could found prefabs, cores, and Frostland dwellers. These windswept foothills used to be thoroughly explored, but whiteouts have erased the paths and safe houses we constructed. The area had an old coal mine, though. Maybe there's leftover coal still here. Requires 20 Frostland teams. Threat level dangerous. Many scouts will be injured. Highland requires 20 as well. There are rumors of wise women in these hills who tell stories of the old world. Years ago, some young women complained the infirmary could not treat their ailments. They sought out these hills and never returned, sparking rumors that they had become wise women themselves. Brilliant. So, the area had an old coal mine. Let's launch this expedition. And go back to our city. Temperatures will soon plummet. That's not good. Oh, we are losing fuel. Is that because temperatures just plummeted? Let's increase demand or output back up. That will last for 33 weeks. The temperature will go up in... Not quite sure on the time frame of this. Is that day? No, week, I'm guessing. Week 100. So in 20 weeks, my coal will last me for 33. So I'm happy to leave things as they are. This gives me enough people left to keep housing district. 200 to build, 200 requirements. Yeah, that's usually how it happens. And then, of course, you guys as well. Of course, what I actually want to do is construct hubs. Material stockpile. It'll cost me 100 workforce, but it's going to save me 120 because I'm going to stick it wonderfully in here. Let's go and say yes to that. It obviously puts me down by 100 for a second, but that should jump straight back up. Sue Miller, 12. Street urchin. Looking for trouble. Cindy's pa went and got her a governess. Like she's gonna be a duchess or something. Not on our watch. We roughed up the little bitch and all. Ferguson's boys will learn this too. They try and wife us again tonight. We'll pull razors and say we'll cut out their eyes. It'll be good fun. But what we want is a proper rumble. Short blades only. Come on, who wants to play? The lack of law regulating childhood is causing tension to rise throughout the city. So I'm guessing that means I should potentially... Oh, that's the wrong button. That's not what I wanted to click on. That is what I wanted to click on. Survival, food additives, goods, city, voluntary and unfocused communal effort does not yield any significant gain for the city. Everyone must aid expeditions by helping them prepare their journey. Production of prefabs in their place of residence, spotting and fixing minor heating leaks around the city. Heat demand is decreased. People are divided. More people are against it. Service exemptions. Everyone must volunteer their time outside of work as needed unless they purchase an exemption from the city. Heat stamps per capita do increase. Let's go back to the city. Contagion prevention, basic necessities, society, and rule. Let's come to society. Okay, childhood. Research speed is slightly increased. Heat stamps per capita is... Heat stamps are kind of my biggest problem. No common rules. Crime is increased. Now, I will have to promise someone something if I go for family apprenticeships, but let's go for it. I am accepted. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I could negotiate, or I could just try and vote it. I mean, a few people are slightly more against it than they are for it, but I am accepted. Relation to find how much communities trust you. Bigger communities impact overall trust more. I'm just going to try vote and see what happens. I'm hoping the fact that they overly trust me. Oh, 45, 45.
Hear ye. The proposed law
Very short.
has been rejected.
No new law takes into effect, and so I can only do this once every 10 weeks. Right, so if I can increase some trust a little bit. Right, so that now is getting me a lot more materials. I now have enough for 36 weeks. And I should, in a minute, go back up to 320 on the workforce. Nice, there is heat surplus, but that's because I am spending coal. Of course, yes, my coal demands have gone up. And there you go, I am up to 320 workers though. So let's... it's not ideal. Let's put that up. Total output is 48, just whilst we get through these next few weeks, because I have enough coal for 31 weeks, and I have about 15 weeks. Yes, I have, well, yeah, 15 odd weeks until we get to warmer seasons, and then I have that for a little while, so that's okay. Go to the Frostland, we have 32% on that. What research can we get? Because we do have some food stamps. Skyways. A network of cables connecting elevated stations will allow us to run suspended trains in the Frostland without having to worry about ice and snow accumulation. Unlock skyway connections, which can be built in the Frostland to allow transport of more resources from colonies and outputs. We don't need to worry about that quite yet. Oh, whoops, I just wanted to go back one. Harvester hangars. Aerodrome from which harvesters are dispatched to the Frostland to make sure every last bit of food is extracted and brought home. We don't need to worry about that either. Resources. Hothouses. Bio-waste hothouse. Industrial-sized hothouse where organic waste ferments in large vats, fertilizing revolving shelves of crops. Increases food output. Disease is slightly increased. And squalor is slightly increased. Stalwarts and New Londoners seem to agree with that. But Frostland... Oh, no one else shares... Ah, right. So that's shared by, I assume, New Londoners. And also Stalwarts. And that is shared by Stalwarts. Ah, I get it now. I understand what it's telling me. This is supported by Frostlanders, but no one else. Because, of course, we will have more parts of the community, more factions as we go forward. So yes, food is definitely a problem. Filtration towers. How can we improve the air in our cities? Squalor is significantly decreased. Through natural moss and absorbs. Okay. Structure that uses high-powered mechanical fans to disperse foul air outside the city. I kind of agree with the Frostlanders on that one. But... sawmills? I'm thinking I haven't actually got any factories. 400 workforce required. The other one only takes 300. This increases disease. This increases squalor. I feel like it's easier for me to control my squalor. Stalwarts agree with this idea. Let us go. Worker shifts. Protect worker health. Workplaces must adapt working hours to the weather conditions. Production efficiency is slightly decreased. Disease is slightly decreased. Heat demand in districts other than housing is decreased. Squalor is marginally increased. Machine-centric shifts. To put less pressure on workers, workplaces must keep machines powered around the clock and adjust working hours accordingly. Well, I think... You know what, let's... Sawmills are my biggest problem. Squalor is slightly increased, a lot more heat demand, a small amount of heat demand, but more workers. Slightly less material output. These two are the same. Disease is slightly increased from untreated sawmill. I think it'll be okay. Let's research that idea. Although, looking at what we have here as well, I mean, we have stepped into coal mines, housing insulation. Base heat demand of housing districts is decreased. I should probably go and grab that next. Researching idea will provide a passive bonus. City, society, watchtowers, hospitals, youth. Trust slightly rises, unlocks youth employment program, city ability, which bolsters the city's workforce but decreases heat stamp income. And that's the only idea we have. And hubs, communication hub, rail hub, fighting hub, maintenance hub, air transport hub, emergency medical hub, and surveillance hub. Heat demand, 25 materials, around 100 workforce. Disease in neighboring housing districts is decreased. Interesting. We get more hubs. Right, let's go back and let's